Hello, everyone. Welcome to Geekonomics. We're back. It's another show. It's another week. Marc and Bryon here. We got a bunch of stuff to talk to you about. Bryan's gathered up all the data, all the information, and we're going to go through our mid-year report card for everything that's gone on up till now. And then we're going to go over our top 5 things we're looking forward to in the visual mediums for this coming rest of the year.
Yeah,
we also got news, a whole bunch of other stuff, top 5 box office. We'll go through that really quick and a whole bunch of other stuff. But as always, we start off with Bryan. How are things with you? What have you been up to?
Well, before we get into that, we got to get this out of the way.
Oh, yes.
Manchester Comic and Toy Convention this Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yes.
Admission $5, kids 10 and under for free. It will be held at the Army and Navy Club at 1090 Main Street, Manchester, Connecticut.
Yes.
You're going to have comics. You're going to have retro toys. You're going to have modern toys. You're going to have a cosplay contest with a cash prize. Adults and kids. And honestly, I know Kineticon is happening this weekend.
Well, not in quotations. It's an actual thing. You know, the quotation.
Kineticon? What do you call it? Kineticon? I don't want to talk ill of Kineticon, but
you're going to.
I'm going to. You know why? Super expensive, and everything is everywhere. Now it's a great time, but come here first. This is where it's at, baby.
You can do both. It's 3 days kind of con. You don't need to be there all 3 days.
Yeah.
Walk around that place in one day and see everything.
Yeah, pretty much. So on Sunday, when you've had enough of Kineticon on Friday and Saturday, come to the Manchester show, because you can wear your cosplay contest that you'll be wearing this weekend. Yeah. And you might win a prize.
After you lose on Saturday at Kineticon, come to Manchester on Sunday.
And maybe you'll win.
If you win on Saturday, and double up. Have a double up weekend.
Yeah, double dip, baby.
Because the people at the show in Manchester probably wouldn't have gone to Kineticon and wouldn't have seen your costume you wore on Saturday.
Right.
So you get double use out of it instead of just wearing it the one day on Saturday and then changing it to something else on Sunday.
Now, I heard from a little birdie, the show's gonna there's gonna be a lot of folks at this show.
Oh boy.
Come early. Come early. Come early. Come on.
How that happens. How do you do that? Do you even come back? I guess you could do that.
Yeah. But also, the stretch of road, you got great food. There's other shopping areas. It's a good time.
We know, Bryan. You're an old man and you love downtowns.
Downtown.
I love it. I love the old mom and pop places.
Yeah, it's a good place. It's a good time. All right.
Like Stars Hollow.
Got that out of the way. My week, Marcus. I mean, getting ready for Oppenheimer this Thursday.
Barbenheimer weekend.
I'm probably going to see Barbie Friday afternoon.
Of course you are.
It's going to be a Barbie.
Because you're a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. It's fantastic when you're made of plastic.
Now, it's going to be interesting. Who will win at the box office this weekend? I think this is very exciting. Oppenheimer, a 3-hour movie based on true events, or an hour-and-a-half comedy about
based on true events.
Based on true events.
Based on that time Barbie came to life and came out of the screen and ended up in the real world.
I'm really excited for both. So I will have a full report about how Barbie was next week.
I think this is like probably, I don't know, John Francia will correct me, the first weekend that there's literally 2 movies debuting that cover probably the whole spectrum of movie watchers.
Yes. No, I agree with
that. You don't, if you're into comedies and just want to go and enjoy yourself for a couple hours, there's Barbie. If you're into movies and you want to watch something that's probably depressing there's little bit, there's Oppenheimer. So,
I mean, I'm a big Christopher
be quite the double
Nolan
feature
fan. To pull off. I'm excited for Oppenheimer. I mean, I always like what Christopher Nolan does, no matter what, even if it's in his best work, it's still entertaining.
Yeah.
And seeing this on the big screen is something I missed out with Tenet. I really wish I had seen that in the big screen. Even though I like Tenet for what it was, and I thought it was broke my mind. I wasn't his best work, but I like the time aspect of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, Oppenheimer, Barbie, we'll be talking about that next week. We're gonna see Oppenheimer this Thursday.
Yes.
I
might try to get. I'm pretty sure the wife will want to go see Barbie, so we might do that this weekend.
There you go.
Her and I went to see Indiana Jones on Friday last week.
Yes.
So.
You can join us for Barbie. We're going to go Friday afternoon.
All right. Well, I'll see what's going on.
Mike and me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll talk to the wife and see what's going on.
We're going to probably go to West Springfield. It's probably going to be like a 1:30, 2 o'clocker.
Yeah.
Middle of the afternoon.
She's got to work around then, so probably not going to work out.
I'll text you. Yeah.
You
want to join us?
We'll talk off camera. You'd have these kind of life discussions now. We can do that post-show.
All right.
People love hearing us discuss what we do with our days.
All right. Well, other than that, Allison and me, we somehow managed to get through season 1 and 2 of Yellowstone.
Wow.
I would say season 2 of Yellowstone actually is way better than season 1. We just started season 3. It's even Allison realizes it's a little over the top when it comes to the drama stuff.
Yes.
It's still enjoyable. It's entertaining. It's a little over the top. So sometimes you just have to be like, that doesn't make any sense, but I'll go with it.
Yeah. It's a TV show. It's not like a reality show.
Well, even reality shows are over the top.
I know, but I'm saying it's like,
I don't know.
Plausibility scale is what I'm talking about.
When you go from watching like Succession or Breaking Bad or something where they think of everything through, and then you watch
more grounded.
Some things happen in this show where like they didn't think about that because that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, it's still entertaining. It has gotten better with time. And we just finished a Baskets. Highly recommend if you're a big Louis Anderson fan. Holy cow. His performance is outstanding.
And if you're not a Louis Anderson fan, it's a good show. Yeah,
it's a fantastic show. And it's 4 seasons and really, really enjoyed it. I'm happy we jumped in. We didn't know what to expect, and it was better than what I thought it was going to be. So great show there. So right now that's where I am. Nothing other than that. I got my list ready. We got some news to talk about. But Mark, how was your week?
It was good. I finished the original run of Arrested Development, and just because I've figured I'd watched the whole thing, I needed to keep going. I dove into the Netflix episodes. I see what you were saying about the first couple episodes. It gets a tiny bit better after those, but it's kind of like now it's like I feel like I just need to see the end of the story at this point. So I'm going to push through.
It's not enjoyable.
Yeah, now it's more like work than enjoyment. It's like I feel like I just have to do it now for the podcast.
No, I would just stop watching and save your insanity. You know what show I did that with? So I love Goldberg's. I think the first 5-6 seasons are amazing. Really fun, clever television. I got Adam Goldberg, the showrunner. He left the last 2 seasons. So season 9 and 10, Adam Goldberg's not part of it anymore. Like the showrunner. The show is based on his, loosely based on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
like a 1 to years kind of scenario.
He leaves the show as showrunner. 2 other people take off. The show, you can tell it just doesn't. They write off Jeff Garlin, and then the grandfather died in real life, so he passes away.
Yeah. So you kind of got.
It loses its magic.
Yeah.
So I got to Adam graduating high school in season 9. I skipped all the way to the finale, the final episode of season 10. I watched that and I'm done because I watched a couple of episodes in season 9. I got halfway through season 9 and I'm like, I'm not feeling it anymore. Can't do this to myself. This is not good. I mean, it's not insulting, but it's said and done everything it could do, and now it's just an autopilot. So I kind of feel like they're just rehashing same old shit over and over. So I'm like,
going to the tropes of the stuff.
Yeah, and they're really it was really like, let's lean on all the weirdness that the show had in the beginning, but just really lean on that. It became obnoxious. So Adam graduates high school in the middle of that season 9, skipped all the way to the finale of season 10. I watched that. I said my farewell. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think the first 8 seasons are amazing television, and the last 2 seasons are just kind of they should have ended that show way sooner. It just went on way too long.
Yeah, it's a lot of weirdness.
But I mean, you do you. But for me, if I'm not into a show anymore, I'm just giving up.
It's like I'm not into it. It's just kind of like it's a different. You definitely feel a different vibe to it, and I do see what you're saying with a lot more narration, and the fact that he's really narrating the same words they're speaking.
Yes.
It's like I don't understand that. And like that makes no sense.
It became irritating. That like Alice and me were watching it and we're like, oh my God, I just watched that episode. I don't need almost 10 minutes to tell me what I just saw. And then like by we got into the meat of the episode, it was over. And you're going, I'm like, it felt horrible.
It's just weirdly paced. Yeah, the pacing's weird and stuff.
Editing's bad. Yeah.
Yeah. But we also, Claire and I have dove into The Bear, Chapter 2.
Oh, that's a show we got
watching that. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things.
Yes. Yeah. This season, a lot more in the cooking side of things and the chef side of stuff. They just had one whole episode, the one we just watched. We're not watching them in like binge form because Claire doesn't do that. She can't handle that. So we watched like an episode a week, kind of.
That's me.
Yeah.
We watch like 1 or 2 a day.
Yeah.
Allison's like, I could binge this. And I'm like,
yeah,
I like to just enjoy things.
Yes. Yeah. Which on the other hand, I'm like, I keep telling her, like, we got to finish Bear. Like, I can't keep not watching it when I'm like, when you go to bed, I need to finish this. I can't like wait any longer. It's driving me insane. But there was just a whole episode about baking because one of the guys is like the patisserie does all the baking stuff, and he was like sent overseas, and it's all like the fine dining like stuff and everything, and Claire was just diving into it. She's like, this is amazing, this is all amazing, I love every part of this. So yeah, so it's a very great, it's an awesome show.
Yeah, that's on my.
And I didn't know what we do in the shadows. They dropped the whole do they drop the whole season, or is it just a couple episodes?
Just 2.
Oh, okay.
It goes until September, so we're gonna start watching that. We're gonna start watching it week to week, I think, because I honestly, to wait until September just feels like forever. I really, like. I think we're gonna just start watching one at a time.
Yeah.
During the week, I'm very excited for that show to come back. So.
But yeah, that's about it. Besides that, not much else going on. Pretty quiet on the Western Front, as they say.
Well, news last week we talked about this. The actors are officially on strike.
Yes.
With the writers, this is pretty huge. I mean, the writers have been on strike for what, 90 days already?
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah, I'm hearing like it could be till October. This all could go for.
So yeah, it's gonna be a drought.
Yeah.
Come January.
Yes.
Even this fall. So
yeah.
I don't know if you heard this. They announced some of these channels are now taking their streaming shows and putting them on network to fill the gaps.
Yes.
Yellowstone is going to be premiering on CBS this fall.
Yep.
And then Miss Marvel is going to be on ABC this fall.
Yeah.
And now I could see other networks or other things following because they're going to be like, we need to fill in gaps. We're not going to.
The thing that's like crazy about this whole thing is, it's like, okay, so like, it's like, I don't know. I'd have to like talk to somebody or someone who knows more than I do about this. But if these shows were originally contracted for streaming, and everyone that was on the shows were already like paid for things, how can you then take the show?
They own it, and Yellowstone was on Paramount. Yellowstone is a Paramount Network show, so that is that is on Paramount Network. That was a streaming show. Miss Marvel was made.
That's what I'm talking about. Miss Marvel more than Yellowstone.
So
it's like, do they then get residuals for it being on television?
They should be. I mean, They have to, I guess. Well, the contract.
But they're on strike.
I don't know.
That's the questions I have.
I mean, Yellowstone was already on a cable channel.
Yeah. It's already on
So
Paramount.
Miss Marvel
so it's already
is a Disney thing, and one of the biggest culprits. I mean, first you had Netflix. Come to find out, there's these actors coming out about how when they were on Yellow is the New Black, or Black is the New Yellow, or Yellow is new. I don't know the name of that show.
Orange is the New Black.
Orange is the New Black. There was an actress on there who said they were on this big hit show for Netflix, and a lot of them, all of them had to keep their day jobs, and the residuals were not like almost nothing.
Bubkiss.
I think she showed
and not the show on Peacock.
Yeah, she showed a residual check for $27.
Yeah,
she got. And it was one of the biggest shows Netflix. I mean, Netflix got the ball rolling here.
Basically started Netflix as a place to have TV shows.
Right. And
it's crazy.
So, I mean, even the bear. I mean, the guy who created the bear is DoorDash.
Yeah.
Make ends meet.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Mark. I mean, it's a good question. Will we see other services do this and fill in the blanks with these shows that are on streaming services?
I would assume so, but the thing is, it's not that many. Like, I think Disney is probably the only one that has digital shows that they could push onto a network.
Paramount Plus.
But I mean, there's not that many Paramount Plus exclusive shows.
They could put Star Trek. They could put Star Trek.
Yeah, those could end up on CBS, but they already were airing those on CBS randomly.
You're right. So ABC, Disney, NBC got Peacock. There's Peacock.
Yeah, but Peacock, a lot of their stuff's already on NBC.
But they have Peacock originals. They can
not that many that are like.
Well, they might be desperate.
I don't know.
Who knows? We might see
a lot of game shows, a lot of reality shows are going to be happening.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of game shows. But also the biggest thing, the Emmys. The Emmys were announced this week. The Last of Us got a lot of nominations.
And no one's going.
Well, if the actor strike goes until September, nobody will be at the Emmys. The Emmys might just be a PowerPoint presentation with a host. You know, like, here are the nominations. Here's the winner. But if the actor strike ends before then they'll go.
And like, as we're talking about with all these, we've talked about this before with San Diego, but like even just locally, our friend Mitch, who runs Terrificon, has already put out things saying the guests are still coming, but there's just gonna be no panels. There's gonna be no panels because they can't discuss any past, present, or future projects that they might be working on because that's against the strike stuff. So no panels with actors about previous shows that they've been on or anything like that. So
interesting.
They can go when they can sign, but I don't even know if they could sign. I don't know. I'm assuming I don't know. It's a very odd thing. They could still go as themselves, but they can't like have any promotional thing about anything they've been on.
Well, I think maybe I don't know, but maybe they'd be like, okay, it'd be like, I'm going to use John Cena example. Here's John Cena. You recognize John Cena, but it's not John Cena from the Peacemaker. You know, they can't mention Peacemaker.
John Cena, like something like that. It's still different because he's got the wrestling side of things, so he could show up as the wrestler John Cena and do a panel about wrestling.
Right.
But he can't answer any questions about any of the movies he's been in or anything like that.
Who can I think of here? Oh, Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton's here.
Yes.
But he's not discussing the Flash or anything movie related. He's just here.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. He could be there for talking about his stand-up career and do a panel about that because that's where he originally started.
Yeah.
But he can't do anything else.
But
it's crazy the amount of things that like the strike like rushed projects to completion. Like they were shooting Beetlejuice 2 in Vermont.
Yeah.
And they like literally like shot like daily for hours and hours and hours, like to finish the movie of shooting, so they didn't have to go back and tear everything down because they
The
rebuilt
house.
the house, they rebuilt the downtowns and all the different
Ugh.
buildings and everything.
Is Tim Burton part of that?
Yeah, I think so.
I hope so.
I don't think how
I don't know.
you do without him.
I mean,
I mean, I
I don't
know like Winona Ryder's
she's
in it. I'm
there.
assuming Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice.
Yeah, yeah. I know what's her name? Wednesday is
Jenny
playing
Ortega.
the daughter. I
I'm
don't know
looking it up
how
right now.
I don't know how I feel about it. I have to see a trailer before I mean, I love Beetlejuice as a kid. I just
Yes,
don't
Tim
know
Burton
how.
is the director.
All right. I just don't
Music
know
by
how.
Danny Elfman.
Nice, nice.
Screenplay by David Katzenberg, Seth Graham Smith, Mike Vukatinovich, and Alfred Go.
I don't hear any Michael Keaton in there.
Did he write the first one?
Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice.
Well, I
He
know,
didn't
but I don't
write.
know if he wrote the first one.
No, Michael Keaton didn't write the movie.
No, I mean Tim Burton.
Oh, I don't know if he wrote it. I have no idea. I know he
That was
directed.
just the writers. They didn't talk anything about the actors.
Oh, okay. Get me nervous.
Starring Michael Keaton and Jenny Ortega.
Okay. Is that a Netflix movie?
I don't think so.
All right. I guess I might see it. I don't know.
Warner Brothers.
You know, so it could be on HBO Max. The Max.
Yeah.
All right, Marcus. Yeah, that's the other big news. We got a lot of that stuff happening right now. So
The other thing, we got two out of the writer's strike and the rush to get things accomplished is the Deadpool leaks.
I don't want to see
Wolverine.
any more. I know. I don't want to be I want to be surprised, man. I saw too much already. I saw some stuff. I'm done seeing things. I want to go into this movie surprised.
I mean, the fact that he's wearing the suit, I think that's kind of like one of those things where it's like, here, we're gonna whet your appetite because we know you're gonna go into a drought now.
Yeah.
Months on end. So here's a little morsel to get you through.
I know.
Hugh Jackman's wearing the blue and green, the blue and yellow.
Yellow. I no. I don't want to know anymore. I just want to see the movie. I don't think the movie's coming out in May. I don't know why they should have just kept it in October. It was so dumb to move it.
Yeah. Well, because I think it was because at the time when the strike was being talked about happening, Deadpool was farther along in shooting than the movie that was coming out in October was. Like Deadpool was basically close to being done with like principal photography. So I think now it's just like all the other stuff, which once the writer's strike ends, Ryan Reynolds can go back in and do once both strikes are done, Ryan Reynolds can go back in and voice over the scenes that he's in the mask and everything. And
I just want the only thing I'm concerned about all these movies being rushed or now they're halted. It's just like a part of me is just like, man, I don't want them to screw these up and rush them out the door because they feel like they have to. I much rather have a movie that is as best as it can be, and I have to wait a little bit longer than a rush movie that isn't as good. So that's my fear. I hope my fears are not warranted. I hope it will be good. I'm sure it will be, but you know what I'm saying. I rather wait for something awesome than be like, oh, we rushed this to get it out the door. It's never that good. So I don't. I'm kind of happy the actor strike happened because then I think having two fronts together to hopefully get the writers what they need.
Yeah, and then we got that crazy article. I think it was in Deadline or some random. I can't remember exactly which thing it was in, where the executive from one of the streaming companies literally stupidly tells a reporter, our plan is just to wait until the writers go poor and then they'll come crawling back to us.
No, they won't.
It's like probably not your best thing to put out there into the world.
Did you see the video from what's his name? Hellboy? I can't think of his name.
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman. He went off.
Yeah.
Oh, it was it was a good video. Definitely Google that.
I will after.
I can't repeat any of it on here.
Yeah.
A lot of swears, and he's very
Yeah.
angry. But I've listened to a lot of interviews, and I think Matt Damon said it perfectly. You know, he's just like, this isn't about the actors. He's like, this is for all the actors, but it's the up and comers that are getting
Yeah.
the biggest. They're the ones getting the worst out of all this, because
Yeah.
you have the Tom Hankses, you have all the Tom
Yeah. The
Cruises.
folks that
They're
are
gonna
making
be
the millions and
fine.
millions for every movie they do.
Yeah, they're going to be
Yeah.
fine. But
Yeah.
it's the ones getting into the business now that are
Yeah.
being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And that's really what it comes down to, because it's a different landscape than it was 50,
Yeah.
30, 20 years ago.
But for them too, it's also, they're also watching out for themselves as well, the Tom Hanks and Matt Damons and stuff like that, because
Well, of
the last thing
course.
you want is this AI thing to come along and you decide you're not going to do a movie, and then next thing you know, you're in a movie that you weren't actually in.
Well, okay, so what you just talked about, there was an article and about this extra,
Yeah.
and the extra said one of the movies he did, he got scanned,
Yeah.
and they said they scan everybody, and he's an
Yeah.
extra. Well, the thing is, they're afraid now, once they get enough extras,
They could do crowd scenes
scanned,
without anybody.
right, they don't have to
Yeah.
hire extras anymore.
Yeah.
But then you're reusing someone's image.
Yeah.
And that's what they're scared. That puts
Yeah.
a lot of people out of work. Those
Yeah.
extras.
That's a lot of people start,
Yeah, as extras.
or just other people just do a living that way. Like I have a friend of my mom's in New York was that way. He would just do extra work. Like every couple weeks when a movie came in his area, he'd do extra work and would make enough money to get through to the next time another thing would come around.
Yeah, that's scary.
That was his extra money that he would use. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff happening. So hopefully they all get what they deserve. And then all the streaming services right now, they're all raising their rates. Everybody's raising yet again.
Yeah.
We just got everybody raised up last year. Now they're raising again this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yep. You'll be looking to come back. We'll be waiting for you here on the dark side.
Oh, I'm never going back to cable. People aren't going back to cable, Mark. You just cancel the subscription. That's all. Let's see, $150 a month, or maybe $50 that I can cancel anytime. I'll go with the $50 I can cancel anytime.
Oh, I know. I'm just joking.
Yeah. Cable's a dying industry.
I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyways, on to more happier things.
All right. Let's go on to our yearly report.
Well, really quick, before we do that, do you want to do a quick little hit him and leave him review of the last episode of Secret Invasion?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
It was a decent episode. The fight scene was very strange. I don't know where this is going.
Episode 3, real quick for me, wasn't my favorite.
4.
Or 4, whatever episode we're on. No. Oh,
it's
you're
episode
right.
4.
4.
Yeah, it was a 4.
It was the weakest out of all of them so far.
Which makes sense because it's the middle episode.
I enjoyed the first half of the episode more than I enjoyed the action. The action felt weird.
Yeah.
Flat and just off. Felt off. I can't put my finger on it. It didn't feel. It just felt weird. All the surprises we all kind of knew going. We all kind of
the Don Cheadle thing was very strange.
We already knew he was a Skrull. We knew
like the fact that he's a female Skrull. That was kind of weird.
That's fine. It doesn't bother me.
Have a throw in there. That was kind of strange.
Yeah, I mean, because when you first see the female Skrull, you're like, "Oh, who's this going to be?" And then it's Don Cheadle. It's what's his name?
I would like to have been there when they told John Cheadle, "Hey, you have to wear a towel like your wife would wear," in the scene.
Yeah.
So it's like up here and tied up and everything. Okay.
But where's his character?
Probably in Scrollovia or whatever it's called. In probably one of those machines.
Yeah, because But
Because now
wouldn't
they're
some
saying like there's a whole thing online. I was looking this kind of joking off real quick. A whole thing online of a conspiracy theory that he's been a Skrull since Endgame, and that when he crashed no, since Civil War, and when he crashed and he acted like he broke his legs, he didn't really break his legs because he's a Skrull.
Yeah, you know what though? That I don't buy it.
Yeah.
It's a fun
But that's how they
theory.
get out of saying like that's how he was bad at flying his, like he wasn't as good as fighting in that one as he was in other movies, and and
Yeah,
that's how
but
he's able to walk around now without any kind of stuff.
no, I think he was human the whole time. I think now he's a Skrull. We just don't know where he is.
Yeah. But then the question is like, when did he get switched? Because if he was definitely switched before the blip,
He
or
could
was
have
he
been
switched
switched.
after the blip?
He could have been switched during a blip. Someone could have turned into him when he got blipped.
Yeah, but if he blipped back, he would blip back wherever he was beforehand. So that's the thing. It's like,
Have we seen him since the blip?
I don't know.
What I don't know. I can't remember.
That's the questions. That's
Yeah.
the questions.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite episode. It was all right. We'll see where it goes.
It's just very strange too, because this is one of those things where it's very hard for them to like, I don't know, it's a tough sell of making this show seem like there's some kind of like stakes to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Because as the show's going on, the trailer for the Marvels gets rolled out, and there's Nick Fury up in space.
That's what
So
I
like,
said.
when does that take place? Does that take place before all this happens, or does it take place after this all happens?
That's what I said in the group chat. I said, why
It's
is he
very
in space during that movie trailer, but here he's back? So
Yeah.
at the end, one of two things. Either he goes back in space,
Yes.
or come to find out he was a Skrull the whole time and he's still in space.
Yeah. But he came down from space in the first episode.
I understand, but that could have been a Skrull coming down.
Like he was just in a scroll down just to handle this.
Look good.
That seems strange.
Spider-Man. The second
Yeah,
Spider-Man
but that
movie,
was Spider-Man. That wasn't like this is like an earthly threat, basically. I don't know. It's very strange.
Well,
That's the thing that's like,
the whole
I think
show falls apart a little bit because there is no sense of urgency on anything, because I kind of felt like this would have been better as a movie that came out and that build upon something. It just feels so like low stakes, like very low.
Still in that, this is like the end of the pushback of COVID shows. These were shows that were supposed to come out a year or two ago, and this is like the last of those shows that's been pushed back because of that. So it's like we're like, stuff doesn't make sense in like timeline stuff. So that's the thing that boggles my mind about this. It's like, does this take place, because he's really old looking in this, but in the trailer for Marvels he doesn't look that old. So does this take place after that, or does this take place before? I don't know.
Maybe I don't know, Mark. This is all good questions.
This is all stuff that has to be answered somehow in some way.
I mean, it's an enjoyable show. I am enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's really just
you have to like take yourself out of, you can't think too much on it, and just watch what's going on.
You just have to kind of I have to see the whole picture to really make a concrete decision of how I feel about it. I got to see how it ends. And does it connect pieces? Yeah, I feel I'm as confused as you are when it comes to a lot of this stuff too.
Yeah.
So good points. All right.
But anyways, on to the mid-year review.
All right, Mark, I'm going to make this quick, and then we're going to jump into our top 10 list. But
it's 5 each. 5 each.
Yeah, I know. So it's a top 10.
Drive me crazy.
It's a top 10.
Stress me out thinking I don't have 5 more things I got to figure out.
Okay. This is our mid-year a mid-year report card based on shows and movies that we reviewed on this show, not our personal stuff, just this show.
Correct.
Do you want me to start from lowest to highest, or highest to lowest? Lowest to highest?
Correct.
All right. In the TV, we're going to do TV shows.
Okay.
Our lowest rated show.
Now for TV shows, this is overall, not just individual episodes.
Overall season.
Yeah, just letting so that way people know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Willow. Willow being, and now Willow was canceled and erased from history.
Yes.
So this show does not exist.
Yes, you can't even watch it on Disney Plus anymore.
Thank God, because it was garbage.
Yeah,
I gave it a 3. I don't know why you gave it a 6.
Well, because it still had they gave you the member berries. It wasn't terrible. It set up a good, like the ending of it set up something that could have been interesting in the second season.
It could have been, but it was so funny. I was 3 episodes in, and it was so bad that Allison was in the same room, and I generally don't hear her say anything. She usually gets sucked into shows I watch.
Yeah.
She says, "What are you watching?" And I go, "Well, it's the Willow TV show." "Why are you watching this? This sounds so generic."
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
kind of is.
Yeah.
But
it was like Willow for beginners, but
it was something.
Yeah.
In the middle of the pack, the middle of our shows this year was Mando season 3. I gave it a 7. You gave it an 8. That's basically splitting hairs between good and very good, in my opinion. It really was the weakest out of all 3 seasons of Mando. I want to, August we have
Ahsoka
coming out. Will that be able to take on viewers like myself who have no interest in watching the cartoons and know nothing and only know based on the live action stuff? Filoni says yes.
Yeah.
Now, I do like Filoni's writing.
Yes.
A little bit more than Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau can write. I don't know what he was
save all
doing.
that. Save all this stuff for the later on.
All right. And then our 2 top shows of the year.
Yeah.
Was The Last of Us. Both of us giving it a 10.
Yes.
Succession. I gave it a 10. You give it a 9.
Yeah.
As of right now, still holds true. My 2 favorite shows of the year. And then we go to the movies. We're gonna go low to highest,
and not the whole series of Succession, just the final season of Succession. Just to throw that out there too. So
I give it a 10, the whole series, but
but I'm saying what these grades were for was for the individual season.
Yeah. Movies. We're gonna start at the bottom of the pack.
Like I would also agree with you. The series as a whole is a 10, but the last season of the series was not the best of all of them.
For you, yes.
Yeah. Well, losing Brian Cox has made it, not having him for the whole season really hurt, in my opinion.
See, that's where I thought the fun lied, because you realize these kids are not suitable.
Well, that's the thing, is I couldn't sit, like I got annoyed watching it after a couple episodes without him in it to kind of anchor it. Just the 4 idiots roaming around was just kind of annoying.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into movies. Yeah. Okay. The bottom 3.
Okay.
Which really, like I said, we're splitting hairs between good and very good.
Yeah, there hasn't been anything terrible, in my opinion.
Indiana Jones, I gave it a 7. You gave it an 8. The Flash, I gave it an 8. You gave it a 7. And Ant-Man, I gave it a 7. You gave it an 8.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're splitting hairs between good and very good here.
Yeah. We're gonna have to maybe next week or the week after we get through Oppenheimer and such. I think we need to do a deep dive into the Lucasfilm situation.
How they can't make good movies anymore?
Yes. Yeah. And they can't do anything with the 3 biggest franchises that came out of Lucasfilms have basically lost all interest.
I mean,
we'll dive into it. We'll have that. We'll take on a week where it's quiet and there's nothing going on. We'll cover it. We'll dive into it.
Run it into the ground. Then D&D, middle of the pack here. I give it a 9. You give it an 8.5.
Yeah.
Still pretty high though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know if D&D made enough money for it to get a sequel. But it
Yeah.
was
Which
a
is
great
crazy
movie.
because movies that are worse than that have gotten sequels
Yeah, it was a great movie though.
that haven't made as much money got sequels. So it's like, I don't understand why they wouldn't.
And our top two favorite movies of the year. We
Yes.
were pretty much on par. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I give it a 9, you give it a 9.5, and Guardians Volume 3, 9.5 from both of us.
Yeah.
Like I think we already discussed at length Volume 3. Adam Warlock, could have gave it a 10 if it was slightly a little bit better. I still enjoyed that character.
Yeah.
But
and he shows up in The Bear and he's amazing.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Yeah.
And then Across the Spider-Verse, a 9.5. I mean, I got to see part 2. I think it's gonna home run it.
Yeah.
So we'll see how part 2 comes out, but I am super excited for part 2.
Yeah.
And Across the Spider-Verse and Guardians 3 are, as of now, the top 2 highest grossing movies of the summer.
Yeah. I think, and my niece is like super addicted to that movie, the Spider-Verse movie. She's like started drawing the characters from the movie.
Yeah.
And she did a Spider-Punk, I call him Spider-Punk, whatever he's called.
Oh, it is Spider-Punk.
Yeah. Drawing and Miles Morales and the spot drawing. And I was like, I'd probably, if I saw these at a Comic-Con, I might purchase them. So I might share them on the Geekonomics page.
You should have her get a hold of Matt Ryan.
She's worked with Matt Ryan a couple times. Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. So anyway, I mean, those two movies, when they come out for physical, to definitely buy for me. Even D&D, I might buy down the road. But anyway, that's our midterm grade. I mean,
yeah,
I think Willow was the worst thing out of everything here.
Yeah.
But
unfortunately,
everything else was either good or above. To fantastic, amazing.
Yeah, it's been a very good year for TV and films, like in our opinion. But I think it's been the stuff we've seen. Yeah,
I've been entertained.
Yeah,
I mean, even the worst two things I saw on this list is Ant-Man, Indiana Jones. I was still entertained.
Yeah,
I wouldn't write them off as like, oh my god, this is horrible. I was still entertained. I had a good time. Are they forgettable? Some might say that, yes.
Yeah.
But overall, not bad. Not a bad first half of the year.
And speaking of the movies, Brian, before we get into our top 10 things we're looking forward to this rest of the year, the top 5 at this past weekend's box office, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Yeah.
Its first weekend out, hit 54.6 million to claim number 1 spot.
Not bad.
Second was a movie that's in the theaters for 2 weeks now, The Sound of Freedom, with a 27.2 million. Third was the new Insidious, The Red Door, which I've heard is very bad.
Yeah, I haven't heard good things.
Yeah, 13 million for a total of 58 million total. That Sound of Freedom movie is up to 85.7 million total. Coming in 4th spot, Indiana Jones, 12.2 million for a grand total so far of 145.6 million. It took $250 million to make the movie.
Yeah.
5th spot, Elemental, at 9 million. Total so far of 125.6 million, and still holding strong just outside the top 5. This is a total of 7 weeks in the theater so far. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, 6 million. Its total so far is $368.8 million.
Yeah, one of the biggest hits of the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like one of the only movies that dropped from number 1 and went back to number 1.
Yeah.
I mean, The Flash couldn't beat it.
Yeah.
I know The Flash, they said, is going to be leaving the theater and actually doing worse than Green Lantern.
Yes, and it's going
gonna-
straight to the Max.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be going to Max soon.
Yeah,
But when it is, they in an article it said when it leaves the theater, it would have make less than Green Lantern. I
which
remember
is
Green
crazy.
Lantern. That was the last
You
movie
walked
I
out of that
saw.
movie.
I
Yeah,
did. It was so boring. I couldn't
we were
take
supposed
it.
to see it together, and then you ended up going to a different theater or time or something.
They wouldn't let me go in. They said it was full, so I had to
Yeah,
go to a different showing. And
yeah,
we were in the movie theaters. Maybe there's like a 15-minute difference.
yeah,
And I remember they're sitting on the water tower, and
yeah,
I'm like, I'm not interested, and I just walked out. It was
yeah,
like I think I had this third act left. I just
yeah.
couldn't do it. It just
You didn't
didn't
miss
work.
much.
No. Um. Anyway.
Well, they're trying again with Green Lantern, and Nathan Fillion's going to be playing him. So
They said he will be playing one of the Green.
yes, one of the Green Lanterns. He's playing Hal Jordan, I believe, or what's the one there? The guy with the red hair, whichever lantern
I
that
mean,
is.
there's
I
a
can't
lot of
keep
Green
track.
Lanterns, so I
Yeah,
mean, that's cool.
yeah.
I'll get excited
I don't
in
know. I don't
2025.
know.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm trying to be excited. I'm trying to give DC a chance here, but I don't know. I'm
I
not
can't
holding
be
out.
excited until actually I see things.
I mean, it's bad enough I have to sit through the Blue Beetle movies coming, and I don't even know. It's like this is going nowhere, so I don't know if it's like,
I think Blue Beetle's gonna bomb.
yeah,
There's reports that it's not
it
doing
doesn't
good.
look good. The more you see of it, it doesn't look good.
It
And
was
Susan
supposed to
Sarandon
be
as the villain is just very strange.
it was supposed to be an HBO Max movie, but then
Yeah,
they were like, "Oh, this could be in the theater."
yeah. And then Aquaman 2, I don't know,
Comes out at the end of the
whatever it is.
year. I don't even
Yeah,
know why they're putting that out.
yeah.
Not gonna
Which
do
goes
well.
absolutely nowhere because it's never going to do anything with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
very
I don't know.
strange.
Very strange.
Very, very strange.
Um,
Anyways, the top 5 things we are looking forward to coming
yeah.
up with the rest of this year. You want to go first, Brian? With your first, or do you want to do all 5 of your things? How do you want to do this? Pop back and forth, one and one.
Yeah, we'll go 1-1, but I want
Okay.
to add an asterisk to our report card,
Yes.
and I have so much faith that you're going to agree with me on this.
Okay.
I know you are.
Yeah.
The one thing we didn't really we talked about on our show, but I know we both really loved was Letterkenny season 11.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I know we never gave it a score.
We don't grade those because it's not. Yeah, it's like a different.
It's a different league. But I
Yeah.
would say that was one of my favorite shows of the year.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. We only grade the ones that we like fully like review and go into. And
Yeah. Because that's a
dive into.
comedy. It's kind of hard. It's like,
Yeah,
but it was
it's
still a great
sitcom.
season.
It's kind of a weird
Yeah.
thing that. Yeah.
All right. So, you want to go first? Just give
Sure.
me anything.
I've well, no particular order really.
Yeah,
but
I
kind
know
of
order.
in a particular order. Just because it's coming out relatively soon, so I threw that at my number 5 spot. Oppenheimer. I'm really excited for Oppenheimer. It, I've yeah, we talked about it. We talk about it constantly. How Christopher Nolan stuff is amazing, and I'm just excited to see how like it's gonna be a long movie. I'm gonna have to bring a snack, but yeah, it looks everything I see of the trailers and everything looks amazing, and the way it's shot just looks crazy, and it's all black and white. That's gonna be intense. So
Got to bring a stadium buddy. We got to pee
yeah,
in it for 3
yeah,
hours.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too.
First,
I
get the
mean,
big bottle of water, so that way you have the receptacle.
it goes in, it comes out. It goes in,
Yeah,
it comes.
yeah.
Movie wise, for me, I'm looking forward to the movie Strays, which comes out August 18th. I'm looking forward to just a great, fun comedy. I'm hoping we can get a lot of people to go. Maybe I know Allison and me are very interested in going, and it's a Will Ferrell movie. It's the summer Will Ferrell. He's going to be in Barbie and Strays.
Yes, he is. Yes.
But Strays looks like a lot of fun. I've seen the trailer a million times. I don't want to see the trailer anymore. I'm ready for the movie. It's about some dogs. They go on a journey. It's very risque and raunchy. That's all you need to know.
And it's like it's dogs with like the mouth movie thing.
Yeah. Will Ferrell, Jamie Foxx, and countless other comedians do voices. The Red Band trailer is hilarious. I'm very excited for Strays, August 18th. All right, Marcus, you're next.
Yeah. Okay. My next one is another movie. Only because I like the first one, and I think this one hopefully just steps up on top of what the first one I thought did, and it got to me emotionally. So hopefully this one also continues the action punch and continues what is one of my favorite movie trilogies of all time. Ghostbusters Afterlife 2 comes out in October.
Oh, that's coming out this year?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, that's I've been told. Yeah.
Wow. That's what I heard too. Like this, yeah. October seems like a good month for it.
Yeah. No, yeah. Because it's like usually I wouldn't go to the movie theaters in October because of all the horror movies. But this one, they go back going off of the end of the last one. Looks like they're going back to the firehouse, which could be awesome. I'm excited for it. See how that all happens. So yeah, it's rumored it's coming out. There's release dates December 20th, 2023. So
a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's coming out December. Yeah. I thought it was coming out in October, but it's now in
October would make more sense, but
yes.
I know they finished filming at the beginning of the year, so it seems like they got it. They got to do CG, they got to do all that special effects.
Yeah.
And then who knows?
Yeah.
For me, another sequel is Dune Part 2, November 3rd. I really enjoyed Dune Part 1. I watched it on HBO Max, and I really, really wanted to see it on the big screen. It was during COVID. I couldn't. So Dune Part 2, I'm excited to see it on the big screen. I love the soundtrack. I love just everything. I really enjoyed the first movie. I would love to watch the first one in the theater prior to seeing Part 2. So if they have any special showings, I might go to that. But yeah, Dune, definitely very excited for it. November 3rd.
Yeah. So
all right, Marcus.
Dune will be good. I'm not super excited for it because the first one was long and drawn out and but yeah, second one, hopefully more action will make it more interesting and worth sitting through. Next one for me, we talked about it just a little bit earlier because of the timeline issues, where it might be in the timeline of things. The Marvels. I'm excited to see the adventures of Carol Danvers and the crew, and get back into seeing the folks from the Miss Marvel show, which I enjoyed. Thought it was very funny. So yeah, I'm interested to see how that story plays out, and they bring in Bordeaux there, the other girl from WandaVision.
Rainbow. Yeah, it looks fun.
Spectrum or whatever she's.
And I'm interested to see where Nick Fury were in the timeline.
Yeah. So that's the thing that makes it interesting for me, is like, because we've watching Secret Invasion, I want to see like, where does this how does he get to there? So trying to get all that figured out. So I'm excited to see how it goes, and it's just Marvel, so I'll watch it because it's Marvel.
For me, Marcus, a show I've been watching for what seems like forever. The show came out when I lived in Springfield. Archer, the final season starts August 30th. Very excited for it. I think the last two seasons were actually some of their best. The show in the middle, it went a little crazy because Archer goes in a coma, and they did all these crazy seasons, and they're fun, but they weren't my favorite. When they went back to the spy stuff in the last two seasons, I think the show shines, and I want to see how they're going to end it. So for me, I'm looking forward to the final season of Archer. Starts August 30th on FX. So I'm hoping it will be on Hulu. I think it will be, because I watched the last two seasons on Hulu. So
All right, awesome. I've never seen an episode, so I have no comments.
Fun show.
Next thing for me, another Marvel show that's coming. Loki season 2 is happening and coming in the fall. We don't really have a date yet, I don't think.
October 6th.
October 6th, yes, we do have a date. I'm sorry, I forgot. So yeah, interesting to see where that story goes with the Kang situation that we're going through. See how that all plays out. And there's also rumors that this could lead to the Deadpool movie.
No, well, this is going to lead to the Secret Invasion. There was someone showed a real stretch. They showed a set scene. They're saying that set scene was in the background of Loki.
Well, he's also a person from the Loki show. Slipped and mentioned that he's in the Deadpool movie.
Don't tell me who. I
So,
won't be surprised. So,
yeah.
oh, hey, we'll see how this all connects.
So that would make that connection to that scene that you're talking about make more sense.
Hmm.
And if it's going off of that storyline of the multiverse stuff, it would make more sense to go with that show.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see. That comes out October 6th, Loki season 2. Well, I'm interested
because the rumor is that there are a couple people from that show might be in it, or everyone from that show might be in it. Because
who knows?
Yeah, the rumor is the plot's loosely based off the fact of the end of the last Deadpool movie where he time travels.
Yeah, I mean he time traveled before anybody else was time traveling.
Yeah, and it might have flagged folks from the Loki movie or Loki show that might have to go after Deadpool. And that might be the impetus.
I get the feeling it's going to be very much in the line of Deadpool Kills series in those comics. And I kind of feel like we might get a Deadpool Kills the 20th Century Fox characters.
Yes.
And that's why we're going to get Wolverine involved because of some of the leaked photos. But I don't want to get into it. I really want to be surprised. But that's where my head's going. So you make a good theory, Mark.
Yes.
This is going to be very interesting, whatever does happen. So that is a show I'm also looking forward to, but it's not on my list because I had a feeling you'd put it on yours. On my list, this is rumored that it will be coming out the end November, December. It's Shorzy season 2.
Yes, I've heard this rumor too. I didn't put it on my list because it wasn't official.
It's a rumor because they already filmed it. So it's already been done. So I really believe it will be coming.
Yeah, they filmed it at the same time they filmed Letterkenny.
So Letterkenny came out in the beginning of the year. So it does make a lot of sense that Shorzy would come out the end of the year. So that's a show I'm looking forward to. I really like Shorzy season 1.
Oh my gosh. Amazing.
Might even rewatch it before season 2.
Yeah, if you're any sort of hockey fan, you need to watch Shorzy.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Very funny.
It's like a mix of I don't know. I tried to I think I said this to Josh one day, and he was like, "That's weird." Like the reasoning of or kind of think of it. It's got like the comedy stuff. It's kind of like a Slapshot.
But Letterkenny.
But Letterkenny.
Yeah.
So he's like, that doesn't make sense, but okay, I'll go with it.
Yeah. So, all right, Marcus.
My last one, which I know if anyone knows me, can see the shirt I'm wearing. Would understand why this is the most anticipated thing I'm looking forward to for the rest of this year. Ahsoka. It's going to be amazing. The trailer they just released last week.
Oh, good. Looks real good.
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying about if you don't know Rebels, the cartoon, this might be a little bit tougher for you to follow. I'm assuming that they're going to know that and they're going to give you things to get you there so you understand what's going on.
That's what Filoni said. He said you don't need to watch any of that.
So
I don't know.
But I mean, even the fact that there's some little tidbits that they dropped in that trailer that are like amazingly mind-blowing.
Thrawn.
If you're a Rebels fan. Well, even the fact that Sabine calls Ahsoka master means she was training to be a Jedi.
Means nothing to me. I don't know. See, I
Well,
don't know.
Sabine is a Mandalorian.
I don't know that either.
And she teams up with the folks in Rebels to go hunt down Empire people and all that kind of thing. Like smugglers. That the show is basically a smuggler show. And the fact that Sabine, as a Mandalorian, was training to become a Jedi after the loss of Ezra's character, who flies off with the space whales at the end of Rebels with Thrawn, and they were like the love interest, the two of them. That's like the fact that even Ahsoka's training somebody to be a Jedi is like a crazy thing, and sets up so many different possibilities of things that could be going on. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I do know
there probably is online, if you did want to look it up, there probably is like a Cliff Notes Rebels video on YouTube or something,
which I probably should watch.
Yeah. Wouldn't hurt.
The guy who does the voice of Thrawn is playing the physical version of Thrawn, I believe.
I don't know if he's playing the physical version of Thrawn, but he's playing something.
He's playing Thrawn.
Is he?
I think that's what I heard. I heard the guy who did the voice acting is actually physically playing Thrawn in the show. I could be wrong. Listen, don't quote me. I'm a guy with a beard in my basement.
Lars Mikkelsen, yes, yeah. The voice actor portrayed Thrawn in the animated Star Wars is officially reprising the role, now in live action form.
Ah, there you go.
Which makes complete sense because his voice.
He's Mad Mikkelsen's brother.
Yes, Mads Mikkelsen. Yeah.
Who just got hit in the head by a beam on a train.
And didn't have any ill effects whatsoever.
No. So he might be a Skrull. We don't know.
Skrull.
He might be a super Skrull.
It's all interconnected.
It's all interconnected. Indiana Jones.
That's how they're going to get Star Wars to fit in.
That's what they should have done. Indiana Jones and Super Skrulls.
Lucasfilm connections. They connected together.
Yeah. And my final thing, Marcus. You just did your final thing. Am I right? Am I correct?
Yes, I did.
It's neither a movie or a show. It's an album by Blink-182 coming out this October.
Oh, well, I didn't think we were doing that kind of thing. I thought we were doing just movies and TV shows, you said.
I said anything you're...
Way to break the rules.
Well, I really ran out of movies and shows.
I know. It was tough for me. I threw in Ghostbusters because I had nothing else, and Oppenheimer because I couldn't find anything else.
But the new Blink album is something I've been super stoked. That the last album was decent. I thought California was awesome. 9 was okay, but I'm ready for back to form Blink. I'm super stoked. Honorable mention, it's a show that just started.
Yeah.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, yeah.
What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah. It's just started last week.
I'll throw in an honorable mention too. This is neither a TV show or a movie. It's a comic book. I have seen the stuff for it, and I might have secured a preview version of it. It's a comic called Astrobots, and it is done by the guys who used to do Transformers for IDW, but were fired from IDW. And they've since gone on their own and are now doing their own separate book. And just the look of it looks like old Transformers, like the old-timey Transformers.
Nice.
So,
well,
supposedly it's getting rave reviews. I talked to Matt Ryan about it yesterday, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I've heard really good things about that." And Conan's coming out like in the next couple weeks. The comic,
the new stuff,
new one, yeah.
It feels like we got new Conan constantly.
Well, because it keeps getting dropped by people and picked up by other people. Yeah. So that's why.
I feel like the Marvel stuff just happened, but that was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, a lot of good stuff to look forward to the second half of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we're going to be in a drought afterward. A lot of the stuff's going to come out, and we're going to be kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Going into the new year with not a lot of new stuff.
Yeah.
So it's either going to be highly delayed, or just highly delayed. Or whatever. Especially if the writers don't get their way. Because without the writing, we get nothing.
Yeah.
But anyway, we should wrap it up, Mark. I think it's been a great show. Next week
It
we're
has
going to talk
been.
about Oppenheimer.
We are.
I will be talking about Barbie.
Because you're a
and
Barbie girl in a
I'm
Barbie world,
girl in Barbie world. I'm
wrapping plastic.
It's
You look
fantastic.
fantastic.
Yes. All right, let's not get a copyright strike. All right, let's sign off. Mark,
As
say
always, we'll see you next week, and be safe, be well, be kind.
rewind.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.